Welcome to a Power Hour. I'm Roni Hirshberg, and I'm sitting with the amazing Astra and Ines.
Hello.
Hi. How are you guys?
Great.
I'm amazing because I'm sitting down with you guys. I've heard that you're a fan of the brand, which
Yes.
makes me so honored.
Huge
and
fan.
Thank you. You've worn Generation Love before, and whenever I see our product on anyone, but nonetheless, women, powerful women in the media, it really kind of strikes home for me and makes it all worth it. Hi, how are you guys? Thank you for joining me on a Saturday. I know it's, we can shop after.
Yes.
Do not threaten me with a good time.
I'd love for you guys just to introduce yourselves, tell our viewers what you do and what you love about what you do.
I'm Astra. I'm over at Page 6, and also I'm on air at 103.5 KTU. So I do mornings with Hollywood Hamilton and the KTU morning crew. Been in radio for a very long time, and in Page 6, coming up on a year. Page 6 is like my dream job. Being on camera has been something I've always wanted.
I'm Ines Rosales. I'm the morning traffic anchor on Good Day New York on Fox
I watch
5.
you, by the way.
Thank you. I hope I help you out with your traffic problems, because there's a lot lately, especially like make sure everyone gets to work on time. So early morning wake up from 4:30 to 10, do it every morning, Monday to Friday for 18 years almost.
Oh
On time.
my God, wait, you start at 4:30?
I wake up at 2:30 and our show starts at 4:30. Yeah, people don't realize that.
You wake up at 2:30.
Yes.
What time do you get to work?
Around 4 o'clock,
Okay.
3:45, 4 o'clock, do a hair touch up and everything, and then ready to go. Lights on, camera, action, 4:30.
I mean, I have to say for me, I wake up at 5 a.m. and that can be really brutal. That's so inspiring just because I mean, it's like the middle of the night to wake up at that time, and then
It
it
is.
takes such determination and persistence to do that for 18 years and do a great job and with a smile. And I think that's not for everyone. And that just goes to show the type of character you have to commit to that. And really, it kind of just, for me anyway, like anything's possible. You can do anything you put your mind to. You can wake up at 2:30, go to work for 4,
Yes.
be on air, be presentable and charismatic. So it's really, really inspiring.
She has an early morning show too, so
Tell
she,
me all about it.
but
Tell
she
me.
knows also you have to get up early.
I'm up at 5 a.m.
Oh,
We're on at
we can
6.
call each other.
There you go.
Wake up call. Are you up yet?
Yeah.
Okay. And I actually get ready. This is my little secret. I get ready for Page 6 while I'm at KTU.
That's great.
So all I have to do is wake up, shower,
Multitask.
and then
Yes.
bring my stuff. So I do hair and makeup in the studio because who's looking at me on radio? Nobody.
Right.
I walk out glamorous.
Oh, I
I
love
walk in
that.
unglamorous.
I love that. That's great. That makes sense. You're
Yep.
like multitasking.
And then straight to Page 6 at 9 a.m. I'm there from 9 to 5.
Wow.
And then after that, we do a morning show call to regroup for the next day. So I'm really working until almost 7:30, 8 o'clock at night.
Wow.
So it's a long day, 6 a to like 8 p.
That's intense, but you must love it. You must love what you do.
I love
Right.
every bit about it. It's all my dream jobs in one.
Oh my God.
It's like at the end of the day, as they say, like if you love what you do, you're never really working, and that's what it is. It's like my job is not a job; it's fun.
But that's what I love. And I have to say that's what's resonated over all these amazing women that I've met with. They said very similar things, that it's just like the love of and passion for what they're doing, that it doesn't feel like a job, and I think for anything you do in life, you have to just like really find something you enjoy and love. And it
Yes.
feels like it goes so fast. And what was it that made you want this career?
For me, it was an accident, actually. I didn't want to be in front of the
I
camera.
love that.
I wanted to be behind the camera. I wanted to be a director. That was my goal, what I wanted to go to school for. I did go to school for that, for broadcasting. And then I got a job operating cameras for a traffic company who do traffic reports for the local stations in the area, TV and radio, and they needed Spanish reporters, English reporters. They needed
cool.
who speak both languages. So
Yeah.
I saw an opportunity there. I tried it. I enjoyed it. I've had to work hard and prove myself that I could do the job. And that kind of landed me in front of the camera.
Wow.
And, when they say when God has a plan, it's like,
That's
it's
it.
different.
I'm pretty much almost in the same boat. I kind of fell into radio. It wasn't the plan. The plan was actually television. TV is what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I had always wanted to be a television reporter. I went to school for communications, and I liked television. My first internship was at MTV,
Oh my God, I love
Mhm.
that.
and I thought, this would be really cool if I start working on like TRL.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Remember TRL?
Yes, remember TRL.
They don't know what TRL is.
Now I'm so dating myself. But we all know what
Are.
it is.
Our girls
We all
know
know
what
it.
Yes,
trail is.
we do.
And then I started thinking, if I work at MTV, by the time I get a wrinkle, they're probably going to fire me. So maybe I need to go into news, because news, you could be like a Barbara Walters and be like 80 and they'll never get rid of you.
No. they
So
want you.
I ended up landing an internship in a news station on Long Island, was working there for a bit. And then while there, I was like, you know what? There was a brand new radio station that opened on Long Island. They were looking for people. And I'm like, radio's not really my thing, but I'll try it. Let me see. Because I'd
Mhm.
rather be in front of the camera than behind a microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Did that. It was cool. But again, I still love the television aspect. Got into News 12, which is where I was working. I ended up getting a job there, worked there for a bit, and they never wanted to put me on the air. They used to tell me that I look too young to tell the news. People won't take the news seriously from me.
Oh, wow.
So it was a tough industry. And back then, it was a male dominated industry.
Right. Do you feel that you missed out on any opportunities or were given different opportunities because being a woman in this field?
I could have gone a different direction if I stayed behind the camera. I could have gone into a more management position. It did kind of change a little bit where I wanted to go my trajectory, but at the same time, being a woman, I think I did have to prove myself a little bit, especially being from New York and we have accents, you know, so that was a bit of a problem a little bit. And then I had to change that a bit, but you know what? I had to do a TV coach for a little bit, is make sure I spoke properly and didn't let the New York come out too much, you know?
I think I let the New York come out a little too much sometimes.
Well, now it's okay. Now that's changed. People want
You can be you.
right, exactly. They want you. That's what they want more of.
Personality.
Yes, but you know, about 20 years ago, it was a little different. They wanted more of the TV reporter. You know, yes.
That's why they all sounded like that.
Yes.
Okay, it's a thing.
That was what they wanted. But you know what? Being a woman, I feel like it helped because for me, even though I had to work a bit harder, it put me in a place where I was able to give myself more. As women, we have our own way of doing things, more caring, more loving. We get to be ourselves, you know, that motherly nature. And I think viewers like that, that we have that other role.
The like touch, the sensitive touch.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So also to be a female, what was maybe challenging for you as well back then, because we've been in for a very long time, is if you have any type of heritage, like they want blonde hair, blue eyes.
Right.
That was something that was like a
Certain look.
Yeah.
a certain look that they would want. And I'm like, well, that will never be me.
Right.
So I ended up going back to the radio station. I got on the air within a month, and I've been doing radio now for 22 years.
Oh my God.
So it's like, I love radio, but I'm like, my passion has always been television. So when this opportunity for Page 6 opened, I auditioned for it. And I even said to her, I was like, I'm probably not going to get it because, like, I'm never going to get on TV. Nobody wants to put me on TV. And meanwhile, people are always like, you belong on TV, da da da. And I'm like, yeah, but I have never gotten that break. And then I finally got the break.
Got the break?
They auditioned 400 people, I found out.
Stop.
Yeah.
So you got it out of
I got it.
400.
And I feel like Miss America. Like, you know, when you
my
win,
God, I
like,
have
a
chills.
pageant, like, I was just like, I cried my eyes out because I was like, this is like a dream come true.
And I love that it's Page 6 because I honestly really love Page 6.
It's
It's like
fun. It's funny because I told them, I'm like, Page 6 was one of my go-tos for show prep and radio because I love Page 6. Like all the
to
entertainment.
get like content to
Yes,
talk about.
absolutely. So that was one of my go-tos all the time.
So now you contribute to that content, or you just like
I deliver the content.
You
For
deliver
them.
the
So all of our reporters at Page 6 are writing the news, and then we're taking their news stories and putting them to life.
Oh my God. That whole story is amazing. And you know what? You didn't give up on your dream. You went for it. Even if it was like later on, like you were in radio. It just kind of goes to show that you can't take no for an answer.
Exactly. You're going to get 1,000 no's, but you're going to get one yes, eventually.
Eventually.
Just keep going.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
It's that one more step. Like that's what sets apart failure and success, is that one time, like just takes one time, one more step.
Yeah.
I love that.
And now that I get to do both, it's like I said, a total dream come true because I'm able to juggle both. Somehow, some way it works. And I don't have to give
you
up
make
one.
it work.
Right. I don't have to give up one to be with the other. I'm able to actually, have the two of them together, and it's great.
You're kind of, what is it, like a triple threat?
I almost feel like a female Ryan Seacrest.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
There you
You
go.
need to get Dancing on the Stars. You just to get like host
I
on
know.
one of those.
Host of shows. Oh,
That would
they're
be
great.
That would be great.
Oh my God, I could talk on and on about all this stuff. I love all of this. I think it's really fascinating, that world, and especially being a woman behind the camera, in front of the camera, I'm sure that there's, and also, like you said, I think there was this expectation of blonde hair and blue eyes, and all of those things were kind of like strikes against you, and you rose above it and you continued and persevered, and I think it's amazing. Kudos.
Someone will say yes eventually. You just keep going.
Exactly. And that honestly goes with anything, any type of business, any dream that you have. And I know when we started Generation Love, we were told no a lot, and people telling us, why are we doing this? This is not the industry. If I had a daughter, I would not tell her to, I would tell her to get out of this industry, like the craziest things. And it's funny how, that's my like story that I take away. It's just like, you got to keep going. You have to listen to your heart. You have to, like, can't take no for an answer, even after all like the no's.
People are going to try to crush your dreams, but you
Yeah.
can't let that happen.
No, you can't. And I know that social media has been affecting positively and negatively, obviously, all sorts of things in the world. How do you think it's affected what you do and, being on the news and being on radio?
I mean, I've always been a fan of social media. So for me, I don't find it to be affected. Like, it doesn't affect me at all. You're going to see negative comments, obviously.
Mhm.
But from being in this industry for so long, I always tell everyone I have such a thick skin that I just don't care. If you're going to take time out of your day to put down a negative comment, that's on you. That's not on me. And I would never take the time to do that to somebody. So if that's your character, then enjoy.
Right. Right.
It's engagement at the end of the day. So just keep
Thank
coming.
you.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
there you
I
go.
love that.
Yeah.
It's true. It's, and usually you have to just not, it sounds so cheesy, but don't take it personal. Like she said, if the person's going to take time to write something negative, it means something happened. And actually somebody said it to me the best thing. If they're offending me in some way, how I look or how it is, and usually like if it's a guy, could have been that there was a tiny brunette that looked like me that maybe upset them once upon a time. And
Broke his heart.
yes, or something like that. And it helps me separate myself from what they say, But normally I think it's good. Social media for the most part can be very positive because for me it helps me understand the viewer, engage with the viewer and know, or the listener, and know what they like, don't like, what works for them. Sometimes I have people telling me, oh my gosh, you didn't tell me about Brooklyn. Or I think Brooklyn law because most of our views are in Brooklyn. You didn't tell me about the community. Oh, see, there you go. The iguanas was so bad because I got tied up with the George Washington Bridge,
Focus too much on George Washington.
Right, exactly. And it's just like, oh, you know what? I'm going to become more aware. Where are people coming from? What are they doing? Their morning routine. So it's a good way to connect, which that was something 20 years ago, 15 years ago, we didn't have as much.
Right, you get like instant feedback and you take what you want from it.
And it's also a good way to meet new people because a lot of people might stumble upon your page that didn't know who you were before and now they're a fan. So it's great.
How did we meet in a way? How did this happen in a way? Social media.
You know what?
Yeah.
100%. And it's like one of those things, like you hate to love it and you love to hate it sort of thing. There's always a positive in every situation. And I think if you use it creatively and, for good.
Yes.
Not for, and like you said, like the people that want to be negative or write negative comments, that's on them. It's hard though, I think, like the fact that you guys have really thick skin, for, especially young women on social media, it could be challenging. What advice would you give to women aspiring to be in the media?
For me, try everything, do everything. Don't, if opportunity, kind of for me, I had an opportunity to learn how to do traffic. Okay, great. The job came up. I said, let me try it. Let me give it a shot. If it's for you, it's for you. Keep applying, keep going. Even if they say no, keep going on the doors. For me, I got my nose trying to get on TV. Actually, I have one TV station. We gave them my demo and everything. Fine, nothing happened. I appear at another station. They call my bosses. How come you didn't tell us about her?
Huh?
Yes, I did. I gave you a demo. It's right there on your desk. Go look. And my boss was there one day and saw the demo still sitting on his desk. They had ignored it. And meanwhile, when they saw me, they missed out. For me, it worked out great at the end of the day. But I would just say, take all those opportunities as much as you can and don't let anything stop you. Learn something every day. Keep going.
I love that.
Yep. I always say pick up an internship in a place that you want to be at and then meet everyone you can and learn everything you can and bounce around as much as you can. Because once your foot's in the door somewhere, it's easier to land a gig than it is to get your foot in the door.
Ask questions, get in there. That's what an internship is. Take 2 internships. Even nowadays, I meet a lot of interns that do 2 of them. It's the best thing you can do. Great way to network.
And you might end up changing your mind. You might go into something that you think you wanted to do and learn something completely different that you're like, wow, I'd rather do this.
Right. It's kind of something that goes I feel like overlooked sometimes, where people have their minds set on a goal, which is amazing. But then it's like radio, it's like tunnel vision. And then if it's something not exactly that aligns with their goal, they don't want to try it out, which those things build character and experience, and it might not be exactly what you want, but it'll help you get there. Even, maybe the path will be like a little bit sideways, but it's just gaining experience. And you didn't maybe know you wanted to do that, but you're like, let me just do it. Let me just try it. Let's just try anything.
Right.
And you're like working and you're doing things instead of waiting for the perfect opportunity that might never come. You're creating your opportunities.
And that just goes anytime in life too, not just when you're young in college, but
Yeah.
anytime, if opportunity opens up for me to try something, I'll just say, sure, I'll give it a try, and see what happens. If I'm not good at it, okay. I'm not a good cook, but I'll still try.
You still order in.
I'm not going to be, right, exactly. I won't be a chef, but I'll try.
And nowadays with social media, you can have your own show and do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want.
Yes.
We're doing this.
Yes. There we go.
Like,
yes.
Yeah, I was like, I want to interview women about being a woman in powerful roles, and why the hell not? I can do that. Who
And then you
cares?
could start a podcast. You could do your own
Yes.
thing, and you never know what might happen. It could blow up.
Never
That's
know.
nice.
Maybe this is the beginning of something huge.
Well, we're
so.
glad to be on that ride with you.
Yes, I know.
It's inspiring to hear the story resonate, like from women in these. You guys are in such successful roles, and I feel like it. Just even having this conversation is so inspiring to me, because I think even as you get older and in your career, you can get jaded as well, and you can become cynical and stuck in your ways, and to continuously put yourself in situations that are slightly uncomfortable, people don't really want to do, and you stop taking risks. Like the older you get, you kind of get, I'm comfortable. I'm in my role. I don't need to put myself. I don't want to hear no. Like there's times like where you don't want to hear the negative, and sometimes to push forward and get ahead, you have to always be pushing yourself. And I remind myself that as well. There's times when if you get complacent, that's the end. Like you either go up or you go down. You need to keep pushing yourself and put yourself in uncomfortable situations and try something that maybe is not for you, but you learn something out of it, in the end of the day.
Always need a challenge.
Yes, always need a challenge. So, even like with cooking, it's fun. Because sometimes like I love cooking, but I end up making the same thing every single day because I'm like,
Because you're used to
but
you have to push yourself and
I
try
have
one
to.
new thing
Yeah.
every week.
I should, and I'm going to.
There you go.
I'm so excited that the two of you are hosting our event that we're having in support of BCRF, which is the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, October, and you guys are both wearing pink.
Yes. It's over.
How is this cause important to you, and what was meaningful for you to be part of it?
I was a little late. It was my first year. I'm 42, getting my first mammogram, and I was that person who's saying, "Oh wait, oh wait, oh wait." I've had health problems in my past. I just didn't want to here. Not that I'm sentencing myself with a diagnostic of what's going to come, but I was kind of like, just let me wait. But it was my first one. Everything came out great and everything. So good news there. And of course, this is going to be that becomes part of the new journey and everything. And so many women, you hear more and more cases, especially younger women,
Yes.
of what's going on. So we've advanced so much in that area in science, and we want to keep going. We want to continue with that. So that's why it means a lot to me, more because it's coming into my age group now.
Yeah.
We have to do it.
I've had a couple of friends that have been diagnosed with it, or friends of friends that have. So, always going for the mammogram, making sure it's like, I remember the first time getting it done, you're like scared because you don't know. You're
Very
afraid
scared.
it's going to hurt. And it's actually
Right.
not as bad as you think.
It's not, no.
You
You hear stories.
You hear all these like crazy stories like, oh my God, it's so painful. But it's not. It's better to go through that than to go through anything else.
Right.
100%. I mean, I know I've had a mammogram, and it was definitely kind of painful for me and
It's like a
awkward
little
and weird.
pinch, but
Yeah,
it's
like
not
I was like,
it's an uncomfortable pinch.
Yeah, it's super.
But it's not unbearable.
I kind of was laughing to myself when I was doing it because it kind of felt like it was like on an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm or something, because it's so awkward.
Yeah,
and you're like,
and they're like talking to you. They're like, lift here,
I'm like,
move it here,
stop.
Right.
press here. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. It's almost as bad as going to a gyno. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, it hurts. It works. But you should do it. I think it's really amazing, the advancements. And, I had to actually have a biopsy a couple months ago, and everything's fine, thank goodness. But, that was definitely nerve-wracking. But I was happy that I did the mammogram, and then I had to do an ultrasound, and just like, you know what, it's better to go through these steps, and this is why you go to the doctor, and this is why you're
Right.
taking preventative care,
Early detection.
just to do it. And then I don't have to worry about it later on. Okay, so now just for our last fashion round questions, my favorite part.
This is your wheelhouse.
This is
Okay.
now I can take my shoes off.
Yep.
Comfortable. How has fashion played a role for you, both personally and professionally?
I feel for me, when it comes to fashion, a nice outfit makes me feel good. Like, I feel like when I feel good and I look good, I carry myself better. If I'm wearing something, not like, obviously we'll throw on sweats and a, sweatshirt or whatever sometimes, but like you feel kind of frumpy, because you're in that mode of like dressed down. But when you put on something that makes you feel glamorous and pretty and you walk outside and people are looking at you or complimenting you, it only makes you be like, yeah, I do feel great, So I find that as long as the fashion fits my body properly, because sometimes, everybody has to be dressed differently for their bodies. Some things might look good on the hanger or might look bad on the hanger.
Right.
And then you put it on and it looks good or bad on you. So it's like you have to find what works for you. But I find there are certain things that just make you feel good. So it's like a nice fresh outfit always makes you feel good.
Love it.
That's true. Well, for me being on TV every day, it's, what are we wearing? I am not a fashion forward person. And it reads great. It reads, and that's, and these are the things that make me comfortable being on TV, because for me, I don't have a teleprompter. I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do? Everything's coming.
You don't have a teleprompter?
I do not know. I kind of study.
Mind.
Pretty much. I study the traffic. So how I look is so important, because I can't worry about that for the next 5.5 hours the show's going on. So for me, being there, and when I'm dressed right, when I'm dressed for the part, I'm on my A game. Like she said, you can wear sweats, you can go somewhere, but I feel like I'm dropping the ball if I do that. But if I'm okay, if I'm dressed, there's a saying, dress for the job you want, not the job you have.
Right.
I have the job I want. I have it, but I'm going to continue going above and beyond, because it just helps me. It gives me that confidence I need, that I'm okay and everything's going to go okay. Because if the dress is too tight, I'm going to be distracted with this tight dress,
Right.
And if it doesn't fit well, like she said, sometimes it's better on the hanger than me. It's got to be right for me and what looks good for me.
Right. I love that. So what would you say is your go-to piece? Like, what is it that makes you feel instantly pretty and confident? And what is it that you think of when you go on air? Like, what's your piece that you're like, okay, let me just grab that and go?
A dress, a nice dress, or nice little tweed jacket or anything like that with a nice skirt. Like, those are my two pieces, my go-to.
Yeah, as for me, when I'm on camera, I like something that's form-fitting, because I feel like when you wear something that's on the looser side, remember the camera always adds anyway, so you kind of look a little like loose and frumpy.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have something that's body contouring, whether it be a dress, a nice tight shirt, or even like a blazer on top. I love the tweed too, because it just screams like wealth. Like, it's
professional.
Sophistication.
So like
the demure and mindful.
Yes.
It's funny, when we're designing our collections, we often think of the women in the news as our target client, and it's a real conversation. So when we're going through the line and the assortment, we're like, would she wear this on the news? And because I'm so happy that we've had the opportunity to be on the news in different ways, on the two of you, on CNN, on Channel 4, and all these, it's on these media outlets, and it obviously resonates in that profession. And so it has become like, what would she wear on the news? Like, we need to make sure that we have that item in our assortment. So
thank you. About your stuff is that it's not stuffy news, so it's something you can wear on TV, and then you can go out and like a happy hour, a dinner, on a date. So it's something that's kind of like versatile, which I love, because usually the way it used to be back on the news is everything that women would wear very like newscasty. Like, you can never wear that out.
No.
Now this stuff you could wear every day.
I love that. Yeah, it's like versatile day to night. It makes you feel good and confident and fun. Fashion is fun. The news can be serious, but you can also bring a style to it, and I think you can wear a pop of color and a little bit of a strong shoulder.
They want color.
They want, right?
When you wake up in the morning, you want to wake up feeling good.
Right.
You as in the viewer.
You want to see color, people waking up, like, it's subconscious. I'm not even thinking about it, but that color, like, invigorates me and wakes me up.
And it can inspire someone to put on that same color.
Actually, they do. I do get people saying that. They're like, oh, I saw you wear blue this morning. You inspired me to wear blue. Like, okay.
Do you have a favorite fashion icon?
I don't.
I would have to say Coco Chanel. I love the Chanel look.
She does dress a lot of Chanel-ish.
Yeah, it's very timeless and it's very classy.
Do you have a favorite Generation Love piece that you've been eyeing?
can I say every Generation Love?
I know.
Because it's hard to pick one.
Oh.
It's so weird because like since I like came across you guys, because you guys were like styling me for a bit, I was obsessed with the clothing. And then I told her about it. I was like, this is like the best clothing I've ever found. And it's like I can never pick like one thing because I'm like, I like that, and that, and that. And I'm like, oh God. And if you're like, well, narrow it down to 3, I'm like, there's no way.
It's tough.
There's just, you can't. You can't. It's like, pick your favorite kid. You can't. Like, I just love them all.
Honored.
For me, it comes up on my social media a lot. That's how I discovered Generation Love, through my social media and everything. Yes. And the tweed dresses. And actually, I saw someone on one of the news stations had a dress on. I'm like, I loved it. I'm like texting, like, where'd you get that? You know, and that dress. She's like, oh, I got it, Generation Love. It was a tweed dress too. She's like, it was a couple years ago. I'm like, but I fell in love. And then all of a sudden, tweed dresses are coming up on my feed. I'm
my
like,
God.
oh.
Amazing. Well, we can make
Yeah,
our
right,
dreams come true here. So
Don't listen. I will be walking out of here with a shopping bag. I'll be like, I need the Uber XL.
well, thank you girls so much. This has been truly amazing. I've been such a fan and I'm like still like pinching myself that you guys even agreed to do this. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. This is great.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah. Cheers to Generation Love for having the best clothes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.